This video is brought to you by Unison. The Unison Midi chord pack is an easy-to-use tool with over 1,000 chords and chord progressions. Simply drag and drop any chord or chord progression that suits your song or project. Create new arpeggios, bass lines, and melodies based off the MIDI chords with ease. Over 50,000 producers use this tool. The Unison Midi chord pack works with any DAW. Click the link below for discount offers and free products. Yo, welcome back to the Barkada channel. My name is Mark Lawrence.
And it's your boy Dirty Work, always in the building.
And we are here with our very first podcast.
Right? Yeah.
They said a word earlier. Actually, the homie Taj over here said the word vibes. So I think that's a great name for a podcast. So this is Vibes with Barkada.
Yeah, because we're going to be vibing out.
Yeah,
a couple of tangents here and there, but you know.
For sure. So we are definitely testing the waters, seeing how it is.
Mm-hmm.
We are in my bedroom.
Right?
Hey, one of my bedrooms.
Yeah, one of
slash office.
Yeah, that part.
You guys know about the studio that we have, that we decked out and everything. But we needed a space to do something bigger.
Needed more room.
We don't have the space in the studio, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's big enough. You know, we like to keep our artists, you know, our clientele like down to a minimum. We don't want to have like too many people in the studio, so we kept it small on purpose.
For sure.
That's the whole thing. Yeah.
But yeah, welcome to the very first podcast.
Vibes. Will we be vibing out?
How you feel, man?
Man, I feel great, man. Yeah. Just got some good news a couple days ago, and
is it official? Official?
Yeah, it's official. Like a referee with a whistle too. Yeah, it's official, bro.
Oh, so, snap.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say what it is yet, but you know, it's gonna be. Yeah. It's yeah. I'm gonna be busy. That's all I can say. I'm gonna be busy.
Dirty work.
Busy. Yeah.
Coming at you again
in the building, 2023. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Yeah. We're gonna make it happen. Yeah.
We here for bigger opportunities.
Yep.
And bigger goals.
Yep.
But yeah, man.
Gotta get this bag.
We thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys are tuning in, we've been a little hiatus again.
Yeah.
I think it was like 3 months since we have uploaded, but
yeah,
we've been busy. We've been a lot of ups and downs for sure.
Yeah. Look, the last 3 months, man, we're busy. Oh my God, busy. Yeah. So it's been a wild ride. 2022 was kind of one of those years, but you know, we're coming out of it and we're getting to the good.
No doubt. New content coming out, new music coming out, a lot more stuff, new businesses starting within the channel and and beyond. For sure.
And lots of special guests coming soon.
Yes, we're gonna have some great guests hopping on to the on the new podcast. So
that part.
Hopefully some that you recognize and some new faces that you'll grow to love. For sure.
Yeah. So just tune in and vibe out. That's all you got to do.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, we're gonna be doing some cool stuff. Trying to bring on some musicians. We're gonna have some live music during the podcast. So it's not really a podcast, more of like a radio show.
Yeah, man.
Some type of thing.
Yeah. We like just vibing, man.
Trying to change it up.
We will have specific topics sometimes, but for the most part, we just sitting here just talking about world events and music and culture and just our take on it.
Music, life. Food and family, laughter, whatever.
Yep, whatever it is.
Speaking of food, he's got some donuts right here.
Oh yeah, I got some donuts. Yeah. I was I was kind of like munching earlier. I was like, I didn't have breakfast. Oh wow, there's donuts.
What's your favorite kind of donut?
My favorite donut is actually a bear claw.
Oh, okay.
Bear claw, yeah. I mean, I'm not really into like the fritters because I really don't like crunchy. I like my stuff soft and like gooey with all the like apples and just be gushing in your mouth.
I'm an apple fritter kind of dude. It's either apple fritter or old fashioned.
Or old fashioned, yeah.
Old fashioned donut.
Yeah. I mean, like
fire.
I like glaze too. You know what I'm saying? Like keep it. To keep it gangsta. You know what I'm saying?
It's a classic for sure.
It's classic, yeah. Glaze all day. When I was a kid, it was the sprinkles though. It was always about the sprinkles. The sprinkles.
Or the pink sprinkle, or on the white glaze or on the pink glaze?
No, on the white glaze though.
Oh,
on the white glaze, the sprinkles.
Or that's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. What's happening now? What are the future plans for the music and stuff like that?
Man, right now, got a couple of projects I'm working on. Just got a theme song.
That's right. Tell us more about it, man.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, right, the music industry is kind of a hurry up and wait game. You got to hurry up, and then they tell you to wait. Yep. So me and a partner of mine, we we did a small piece for a theme show about 5 years ago, and we're just now getting word back. So sometimes it happens like that. So for a lot of you out there who are just getting into the whole, I guess you guys call it sync, right?
Sync world, yep.
Yeah, the whole sync world. But you know, I'm kind of old school, so we just call it TV and film.
Yeah,
you know, placements, you know, placement money. You know, so what ended up happening was we ended up getting an email saying, oh yeah, well, it's coming out, but we need a couple of changes. It's like, oh my God, we need changes. Like, it's been 5 years. Like, it's even hard trying to find the session right now, but we found it, of course. But yeah, so they completely changed the title of the show and everything like that. It's coming out in March. It's called In the Doghouse. It'll be on Hulu, Tubi, and I believe Netflix and maybe some other stuff. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. You know,
it's an animal show, right?
Yes. It's all about the puppy.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So before it was exclusive with Animal Planet at first, right?
Yes, at first.
But now they branched out. Okay.
Yeah, they branched out. So I guess
so. Different buyer.
Yeah, different buyer.
Yeah,
different buyer, and there may be possibly a couple more in the works. So that's gonna be fun. We're gonna have fun, you know, scoring the whole thing, you know.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, so like I said, for those of you who don't know, like we do a lot of work in the television and film world. So it's or the sync world.
Yeah.
Please add a big reverb and delay to that when you right. Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be it's gonna be great. So and then you know, couple of artists, you know what I mean, probably gonna be releasing some more stuff with Chemo this year. So that's gonna be pretty.
Yeah, you guys, some of you guys who follow us know that we do music with Kimo Kazi, who's become a huge star in the past couple of years. But yeah, more content to come in. He's practically a neighbor in the city that we live in. Yeah, it's like busy guy.
Throw a rock, you know.
Hard to get a hold of him sometimes.
Man,
but
yeah,
hey,
yes, sir.
That comes with the fame, I guess. You know.
Yeah.
Of course, you gotta stay busy.
Yeah.
But tell the people here about your journey through music, specifically with the sync world now.
Oh, the sync world.
You know how it started, how you became about it.
Oh man.
And like how you were introduced and how you discovered it, you know.
Okay, so
because not everybody knows about it. People don't really understand how music works within television, commercials, movies. People don't really get it, but they'll sometimes hear music that they hear on the radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a completely different thing, you know, called licensing. But
yeah.
In terms of creating original music, how did you come about it?
Well, it was a mutual friend of ours used to live in North Hollywood, and this premier place that pretty much a lot of TV show stars and movie stars you may know now actually lived in the building. So, you know, just working and grinding. So first and foremost, let me say, if you get good at a thing, then you have the power. So once you actually get good at a thing, most people start cheerleading for you and start sending business your way. So it was kind of like we met a person, and then that person introduced us to a person who knew a person that introduced us to a person that signed the checks. So it was just kind of like a natural evolution. So within living in the building, you know, like that's pretty much how it went. And then well, actually first what ended up happening was we ended up meeting a guy, and we ended up doing a lot of sample CDs, like, you know, creating loops and packs, right? Well, back then we called them sample CDs because it was actually on CD. So now they're called packs, right? For, you know what I'm saying, for you know, for all you youngsters out there. So ended up doing that. We ended up creating stuff for companies like Big Fish Audio, Nova Loops, P5 Audio, and a plethora more. So we were some of the guys that were actually, you know, doing that and pumping out massive volume of it. So from that person knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody, and ended up putting us with our current publisher now. I think this was in 07, yes. So, and then that's pretty much how it went. We got there, had a conversation, everything was cool, signed our first 10-song little contract, and then from there the rest is history. And I can honestly say I'm still getting paid for stuff that I did back in 2005 or 6 and up.
Tell the people what kind of projects that came out, which movies, which shows.
Man, a plethora. I think I'm in probably over 100 TV shows as of now. Like some,
I'm sure you don't have every single one written.
Like that's
check the BMI list.
Just check the BMI list. Yeah, it's crazy. But recently, one you were part of, we did like a lot of songs for the movie Baywatch.
It's already 2017.
Yeah, 2017, and Shaft Part 2.
I know you did Don John, right?
Don John, yeah. There was another movie that we did recently. It was called The Furthest Witness, and then stuff like TV shows like Ray Donovan or Judge Judy or stuff like that. Yeah, so it's been cool, man. It's just been real cool.
Yeah, man. Like I just found out, checking my BMI statement that my music was on the World Cup, during the World Cup. So
exactly.
It was last year's World Cup, but still, or 2021.
Yeah,
one of those years, but it said World Cup.
yeah, and you got paid, so
exactly.
Like it is what it is. Yeah,
and then I wrote that song 5 years ago as well. So
yeah. So
that was part of the waiting game for sure.
Exactly. So pretty much writing music is like the way it was explained to me, from my mentor, or actually our current mentor,
right,
was that it's like putting money in the bank. You write something and then it's sitting on your hard drive, but it's forever. So I would say that the music industry is the only industry where the word exploitation means something positive, right? So you want to be able to take what you have and exploit it, right? So you have one piece of, we'll call it real estate, because that's exactly what it is. It can be bought, sold, and traded. A lot of people don't realize that it's actually a commodity. It can actually be bought, sold, and traded. So when you do something once and you put it out, it can be placed in multiple places. So a lot of the times people are very apprehensive about giving their music to a library or signing their music to this or signing music to that. What you have to understand is if it's in the right hands, those people have the connections and they have everything that they need in place to make sure that the music that they got from you gets placed, because they want to get paid as well.
Right.
So it's a very cool and very symbiotic relationship. The biggest thing is just actually getting in and finding the right people to work with, right? So, which is a lot of trial and error, and sometimes you trial and sometimes you error. So it is what it is, man. Like, but I would just, I digress when I say, do the thing and have the power. Just get great at what you do first.
Right. So what do you suggest people learn or try to get educated on when they're trying to get into this world of the sync world? From what I've learned is basically getting into it was going past your boundaries. For when I first started producing music, I was strictly EDM, trance, house music, stuff like that. But then going forward, you had to adapt to learning pretty much every single genre that's out there.
That part,
right? So
got to be a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, I mean, what else do you recommend people kind of get educated on when they want to go into it? Like, what do they need to prepare?
Well, the biggest thing I'm gonna say to educate yourself on is the basics of music theory. You don't necessarily need to go so deep and so far down the rabbit hole that you get lost, but at least learn the basics, right? Because when somebody asks you, because the one thing that I've learned, and I'm pretty sure you've learned as well, is that there's really no difference between styles of music, right? And if there is, there's very small differences, especially with the genres now, since everything is like pretty much blended. But if you understand chord structures and you understand rhythm, then you understand different styles of music, and it's really easy to transition between one to the other, right? Another big thing is get out of your own way, like you said earlier, and be willing to do these styles of music, right? But before I get even deeper into that, I just want to say that, a lot of people have a misconception about what writing music for television film is, because most people tell me, oh, you write jingles? I'm like, no. Like we write actual records. We write actual records.
1980 anymore.
Right? Yeah. We write actual records, and then we get them placed. Right. So So yeah, but another thing that you'll definitely have to learn, and I'm not giving up this secret. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The game is to be sold, not told. Right. But formatting, understanding. When you get with somebody that does it, and when you've done it yourself, you start to understand and have a better idea as to how the music soups are actually thinking, what they're listening for, right? Because you have to understand, like, a lot of these people who are in these positions aren't necessarily musicians. They may be music connoisseurs, but they're not necessarily musicians, so they don't really understand what it is that you do, but they understand what sounds good. Right, and they understand what works for the actual scene, or what energy that they're trying to portray for that specific scene, right? So another thing is connecting, like fully connecting with your music, and then understanding which tones and which frequencies actually move people emotionally, and then which rhythms move people physically, right? Once you master those two, then you can do anything, and you can actually, like, pretty much conduct a whole scene. Even if there's no words, you conduct a whole scene, right? Because music is a very, very, very big part of film. Very big part. If you've ever watched a movie without music, it's the most like, you have to know how to act.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You have to know how to act.
And those are the scenes where they strictly don't play music because they're focusing on the acting.
Exactly.
Some Leo DiCaprio shit, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, and be willing to like know how to deal with different personalities, right? Because this is what you'll get. Somebody will call you and say, "Hey, we were looking for Led Zeppelin meets Bjork meets Johann Sebastian Bach. Can you do it?" But you have to know what that is.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have to know what that is. Like, you have to understand each one of those styles completely in order to fuse them, right? And then they hit you with, "Oh yeah, we need it by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning," and they just called you at 9:30 in the evening. So you got to be, and no sleeping, no sleeping. Yeah, like if you like your sleep, you're not built for this. Period.
I've had my weaknesses. I had my moments of weaknesses.
Yeah.
Sleep is great.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, I mean, on another note, man, how has your journey been? Because, like, we've known each other for a long time, but I've never really heard anything pre us actually meeting, because we've known each other for almost a decade now. So, So,
well, shoot. I mean, my journey with the sync world didn't start until the day I met you, because I was all about being that EDM superstar DJ, you know, want to be David Guetta, Tiesto, Avicii kind of dude.
When he's really Mike Lawrence, aka Manny Trapiao.
Obsessed with Swedish House Mafia and all that. Right. I mean, that was my goal. That's who I wanted to be. Just a producer and DJ. I only made dance music and didn't really care much about anything else until I met Dirty Work over here, who showed me, like, who asked me if I had a bunch of songs that I didn't use, because of course, as a producer, you write what you like, but you also want to write music that you might think other people would like, you know. So of course, I grew up listening to hip hop and R&B, so I dabbled in that as a producer.
Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry to cut you off. Hold that thought. But another thing, just real quick. Stop writing music for yourself, because it's not about you. That's all I want to say. Yeah,
and that's where it changed for sure. Exactly.
Yeah.
But others would disagree, because I definitely heard the other side saying write, but that's from an artist's perspective. There's a difference. Writing as an artist or writing as a business.
Exactly. Because as a producer, you want that product to sell. So you need to understand what your demographic and what your client is actually looking for.
For sure.
Right. So, like, that's the reason why I say that, is because a lot of people get caught in their feelings, like, oh my God, like, I love the way this sounds and love the way this feels. But 9 times out of 10, the stuff you love, the people aren't really going to connect with. The stuff you're like, that's cool, people love.
Right. Exactly. It's so funny that
it's funny that way. Yeah.
It's that way. It's the opposite. Yeah. Or like, I hate this beat. It took me 3 minutes to make. Nothing's gonna ever happen with it.
And it's some 16-year-old.
But then,
and they're like, "Oh my God,
exactly.
Sliced bread,
yeet."
That's it. What's going on? Like, what? Okay,
it's like, bro, I just put these like 4 splice samples together.
Like you really feeling this? Like, wow. Yeah, that's why I say producers learn just at least the basics of music theory, and trust me, the whole world will open up to you. I promise you.
But yeah, after writing different styles of music, just for fun, that's when you pointed out like, hey, like you can actually use this music for something else instead of having, like you said, having it sit on your hard drive collecting dust. So it's like, okay, well, I've created. I gave you like, I think at one point like 20 songs that were just like ideas, and you're like, this one, finish that, and then we could actually turn it into something, and we did. We submitted it, and it was placed, and it was used, and it was just something I made for fun. It wasn't something I did as an artist. It was just something I was doing for fun as a producer. So don't throw away anything that you've ever created.
Another man's trash is another man's treasure.
Absolutely.
I promise you. I promise you. And especially the state of the ear of music these days, like it's uncanny. You can, there are people sampling toilets flushing and making records.
Yeah.
And it come out fire. It's like literally that was the shit. Like for real. For sure. Man. Yeah.
I still have every single song I've written since the day I started producing.
Man, you guys got to see how this dude labels all his songs.
I'm in the.
They're numbered from 1 to 1,000 something.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that was track number 869. Right? I'm like, yo, like that's dope, but that's a lot of numbers. Yeah.
It shows it's like going through a photo album for me. It's like looking back. Okay, let me go back to the 30s, and see what I wrote back then, or let me go now to the 750s, Now I can see what I wrote then. And you see your progression.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, the very few songs, first 10, 15 songs, complete garbage.
Trash.
Using stock plugins and stock sounds from Logic.
Trying to figure it out.
Exactly. But it helped me progress until you start to notice a change. You're like, oh, okay, around like 300 tracks, that's when I started branching off. Yeah, but yeah. So far, exactly. So, after, tapping into that, that sync world, that's when things started to elevate a little bit more. Now we write music for a fitness company.
Yeah.
That's exclusive, with just the team. And then, more movies are coming up, more opportunities. Now we're also signed with a what do you call it? A sync partnership and team that we're connected with. So yeah, that's where it is now for me, and still writing music as an artist as well. So
yeah, he has had a couple of releases, man. Those things was fire.
Yeah. Last one just came out a few days ago.
Yes,
hoping
sir.
to do new music once a month.
Bro, give us a shameless plug, man. What's the song called? Like where can they find it?
Oh yeah, this one was a recent one called Hero. It's like a gospel house kind of type track. Try to get back into my house roots again. Been making too much pop and other stuff, but but yeah,
just do what you love, baby.
Yeah, in the end, I'm a house loving DJ, so that's where it's at.
Oh yeah. We're also working on a remix of somebody of importance, but won't say any names yet. But you will hear it within the next month or so. So it's it's coming out. We got some work to do. We got some work to do.
No doubt.
Yeah. So that's fun. That's fun because like a lot of people. For me, I don't know. I guess I've kind of been misunderstood because most people hit me up and like, hey man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got any beats? And I'm like, no, bro. Like,
I don't make beats.
Me personally, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of thumbs down for this, but I don't even listen to rap music right now. To be honest with you,
don't even listen to music really.
I really don't.
I have to show him all the new stuff.
It's funny because I'll get in my car and I'll just roll in silence. Well, for one, I don't like being influenced. I like outside influences. If I'm in a really creative mode, I want to be in complete silence. I like to meditate. I'm a very as outspoken as I am right now. When I'm by myself, I'm very reflective, and I like to be able to keep my my inner juices untainted. You know what I'm saying? So yes, that's pretty much a thing, man. It's for me, the creation process, not to get all extra like sporadic on it, but the creation process is it's become more of a spiritual thing for me, I guess. It's no longer about notes, because now I understand what those frequencies really do. And
right.
It's it really is powerful, man. Like it, so and I'll bring it back. Like if you learn theory, right? Trust me, like the whole world will open up to you. Then you start to really figure out why people are listening to the music they're listening to and buying the music they're listening to. And these music supervisors are gathering the music that they're gathering, right? You just got to really, 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 if you love it, really, really dive in and just dig into it. Yeah.
Well, there's new music, and then there's obviously classic and old music. So I wanted to ask you your top 5 artists of all time.
Oh, man.
Any genre, any time period.
Okay. So
give me the top 5.
All right. So yeah. All right. Stevie Wonder for sure.
Okay.
Prince.
Gotcha.
Bjork.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. One of my faves. Bjork.
Yeah.
Who else?
I mean, you got your main man up there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, because he's in your top 5 though. That's the question.
Well, I mean, yeah. Mike. I mean, yeah, Mike definitely.
For sure.
Mike, definitely my top 5. And last one will probably. Let me see.
So Stevie.
That
was Bjork.
Mm-hmm. We got Prince. We got Michael.
That's Mike. Okay.
All right.
Toughy, huh?
CeeLo Green.
CeeLo Green. Okay.
CeeLo Green, man. I mean, honestly, I think he's probably one of the dopest songwriters. Like the dude is amazing. One of the dopest songwriters, and like has an amazing voice, and probably one of the most underrated rappers that I'm saying that I've heard. I'm like, wow, this dude really, like, he's just prolific. You know what I mean? Like when you understand where that comes from, you're like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like these, like people I'm talking about, to me, I believe are special. So most people will say, oh yeah, you don't like so and so, and I'm like, well, what are you basing that on? Like who do you have to compare, this new artist to,
exactly,
to say if they're great or not? Like, have you even heard greatness? Right. So
and that's the reason why I do, not to say that he's bad or is not successful, but I do not really like The Weeknd.
Hey! I hope we don't get canceled for this, but I don't either. I respect it.
Absolutely,
I respect it. Like I do respect it, but musically, just not. Just
for
not,
sure.
Yeah.
Overrated.
Thank you, Tosh. Thank you, Tosh. Hit the overrated button. Yeah, that part, man. Oh yeah, bro. Yeah.
Shoot, man.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, man. So, what about you? What are your top 5?
Okay.
Who are your top 5? I should say. Who?
Let's see. This is based on like their career and everything they have achieved, and their music, obviously. So MJ's got to be number 1 for me. I gotta say Brian McKnight, for sure. And then I gotta tap into another genre, which I want to say my man Avicii. That's number in the top 5 for sure. Dang, man, there's a lot. Celine Dion, bro. Dion.
Okay. I can see that. I can definitely see that.
And this is based on like what they've like achieved, and like how much money they made too and stuff like that. Like
career does matter.
Yeah,
like,
career
does matter.
And the fact that like someone like Celine has like almost an untainted career.
Yeah,
she's just been killing it from day one.
From day one, man. From day one. Yeah. Selling out soccer stadiums.
Yeah.
So
and then her run in Vegas and stuff like that too.
I don't know if most of you Americans know, but a football stadium seats about what, 25 to 35,000 people max, right? Soccer stadiums, you talking like 85 to 100 and something thousand. So when you're filling up one of those stadiums, you can't tell them nothing.
Right.
You can't tell them nothing, man. Like let me get 100,000 people at starting price $100 a ticket. please and thank you. 5 nights in a row, please and thank you. I'll take all of that. Just give me a week. I'm set.
Right.
I'm set. You know what I mean? Oh my God, it's just crazy. That's crazy. And every time consistently.
Yeah. Oh, and then number 5, Bruno Mars. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, honestly, I would definitely say that Bruno Mars would probably be the last great one of a dynasty.
I would put Ed Sheeran up there as well, because, and not in the sense like they're in different realms, but equally as like impactful to what they've done.
Yeah.
You know, you can't compare, you know,
no, I'm saying coming from an American culture era.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
He's like the last of a great, because there's really nobody that's singing, dancing, and really like singing, dancing, and really performing like that right now.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially doing like side quests like Silk Sonic. Like.
Exactly. And
like that shit was for fun.
Yeah, just for fun. You know what I mean? Just for fun.
And like, still swept the Grammys.
It's like, you know what? We should just do this.
Right.
You know, we're gonna dress up. You know what I'm saying? Like we back in the '70s and and just do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it worked, because the state of the industry, I'll say again, it was time for it.
Exactly.
It was time for it. It's time for it. And I believe there's going to be I'm not going to give any predictions, but let's just say that history repeats itself, and there's some new stuff about to happen, and it's all you're going to hear and all you're going to see. I'm just going to.
But you're pretty good about pointing stuff out like that, because I remember when you first told me that, you know, music is like history, repeats itself, comes in cycles. Yeah. Obviously, you know, what did we hear the past few years? 80s music again. What are we gonna hear the next few years? I'm pretty sure like 90s style music will come back. Oh yeah. And then before that, you know, stuff from the 70s popped up again, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I was telling one of my students who's now actually over in Germany doing his thing. Shout out David Lee.
David Lee.
You know what I mean? David Lee, yeah, watch out for this kid, man. He's coming. Trust me. Like, you're gonna see him.
What are they calling it? About Last Night.
About Last Night, yeah. About Last Night, yeah,
man.
Pop. About the bus. About the bus. But I was telling him a few years ago, because, you know, I was telling him, like, look, music's about to change, so you need to prepare yourself, right? Like, so, and another thing, as artists and as producers, you need to be prepared for change. Do not get stuck in one place, because you will get left behind. So yeah, I was telling him. He was like, well, what's coming next? And I said, well, real R&B is going to come back, right? And then I also told him that boy and girl bands will be back real soon, but from a standpoint of America producing.
Yeah, you see it with K-pop right now, J-pop.
Which a lot of people think that whole thing is like them, but no, that's them doing us. It's just that a lot of the younger generation didn't get a chance to see the NSYNCs, the Backstreet Boys, the BB Max, and things of that nature. They didn't get a chance to see that, right? Which normally happens like every 10 to 15 years. There's an invasion. Like, so America will do something, and then there's this overseas invasion. It used to be the British invasion, right? Which would have like the Beatles, you know, the Stones, you know what I'm saying? So like, you know, people coming over, right? So like, that's always been a thing, right? Like, we create it, they get a hold of it, they bring it back. We create it, they get a hold of it, they bring it back, right? Yeah. So it's kind of been a thing. So those are two things that I told them, and this was probably about 4 years ago. And then Silk Sonic hits, and I look at him, and I'm like, right? It was bound to happen. Right? Because if you've been on this earth longer than 30 years, then you got a chance to see music change probably a good 4 times.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So if you've seen it change more than twice, right, and you still don't get the picture, then I don't know what to tell you.
Music seems to change within 7 to 10 years. I would say 5 to 10 years, and you notice like the styles that 2010. You know, that 2010 2015, all you heard was that the electronic sound, you know, and now we're shying away from that.
And then 2000, and then mid 2014 to like 2015, you had a new insurgence of like what they call the mumble rapper, right?
Right.
And then things changed. They said, oh, well, we can't mumble anymore. People actually have to understand what we're saying. So it changed from mumble back to actually rapping, right? So now we're at a state where you actually are gonna have to know how to spit bars. Right? So I'm telling all of you cats out there that are, you know what I'm saying, that want to learn how to rap. If you really think about it, every great one Go back in history. Every great one had a great one behind them. So like they're actually studying the greats. You want to be great, study the greats, right? And have something to gauge it against. Like I realize that there's new sounds and there's new music coming out all the time, and people like people. I get it, but don't be like, if you're in this field, if you're in music, then you need to know your history of music. So go back. So, not to say because, I'm older that, that music, the music from this era, blah, 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 was better. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, in order to understand where music is going, you have to understand where it came from. That's all that I'm saying.
Yeah.
Love you, cuz.
And on that note, it's time to go.
It's time to go. It's time to go.
You guys, thank you so much for our tuning in.
Yeah.
If you are tuning in to the very first VIBEZ podcast with the Barkada crew.
Yeah.
We got a lot more coming for you. New content and all that noise. So thank you so much.
Barkada channel. Yeah. Well, all you got to do is tune in and vibe. And we out.
Deuces.